Having pledged our honor as shield over air, we must be mindful. Let it be locked away and safe, but ever in view of the faithful. Future generations are hostage to our care. Hammerite servant of the Talisman.
Getting the Talisman of Air will be an interesting challenge, but I'll need it if I want to get the eye for Constantine. It's well hidden inside the city's Hammer Temple, so I'll have to do some scouting around. Problem is, the place is fully active day and night. Not even I can stay undetected for very long. Well, they say that the best place to hide a letter is on the mantelpiece. With that in mind, I'll be going in by the front door, dressed as a Hammerite novice. That should be perfect, since novices aren't allowed to speak while on the temple grounds. My contacts can get me a novice's pass to get me through the gate. Once inside, I'll be free to take my time, explore the place thoroughly, and find the Talisman, as long as I don't do anything violent or get caught somewhere I shouldn't be. Because as the new arrival, I'll be the first person they'll suspect if anything goes wrong.
Undercover. Posing as a Hammerite novice, present your credentials to the guard at the gate and enter the Hammerite temple. Search the temple and discover where the Talisman of Air is kept. When you find it, take it. Oh, and while you're looting the place, steal the Hammer's holy first hammer from their reliquary. In addition to stealing the talismans, steal 2,400 worth of valuables while you're in the temple. Don't kill any of the Hammerites while you're on the job. Once you've achieved your other objectives, get out of the temple and back to the city streets. Welcome back, good viewer. This is the Skyrider. We're heading into the Hammer Temple with this mission, good viewer, to gain the last of the 4 elemental talismans, the Air Talisman. And I really do like this mission, it must be said, good viewer. It's admittedly pretty simple, I think. I think this is by far the easiest of the talisman missions, but it's also my favourite, simply because I just like the fact that you're sneaking into a Hammer Temple, you know. I even love that cutscene, you know, the whole, trouble is, the place is fully active day and night, and then it's got the hammer chanting underneath. I think that's very atmospheric. And then you've got, like, the, he's saying, best place to hide a letter is on the mantelpiece, you know, he is just hiding in plain sight, and I just love that. But having said that, this is a very simple mission, but it's also my favourite mission in the game, which is odd, because normally I prefer challenging missions. But still, it's fun, that's the important thing. So let's have a read of our credentials before we present them to, Harold there. As approved by His Eminence, the High Priest Markander, we deliver unto you this novice, under the standard agreement of service. The novice is sent with full status and training as such, and should serve with humility and vigour to the best of his skills. He will endure a standard 3-year contract of service, at the end of which he will be considered for indoctrination as an elevated acolyte. The novice has been instructed in the rules and strictures of the order, has sworn his warrants to be silent in his vigils, and knows to maintain the marked privacies, as indicated by the standard inverted red hammer sigil. Please remit periodic evaluations of his conduct as warranted, or at 6-month intervals. May the hammer fall on the unrighteous. Officially, Brother Satchelman. 3 years? You'll be lucky if I'm in here 3 minutes, mate.
Present thy credentials, novice.
And we click.
Open the gate!
Excellent. And we're in the Hammer Temple. Hello, Mr. Hammer. I'm a thief, but you don't know that because you're a stupid NPC. That is pretty much the essence of what makes this mission so simple, good viewer. The fact that you can do absolutely whatever the hell you want. And the hammers will just stand there and mutter. In light of the recent break-in at Cragscleft, all temple patrols will be doubled until further notice. Irony! And you guys don't realise that I was the one that did it! Ooh, shiny hammer. No, don't take the shiny hammer, because that's the thing, good viewer. That's the thing about this mission, is that you're either going to be completely undetected, or you're going to be, hey, stop, thief! Which is why I was sure to buy 2 additional gas arrows. Because you really don't need water arrows and moss arrows, good viewer, provided you don't walk around with a weapon out, or they don't see you nicking things. You're good. That's pretty much what makes this mission so simple.
Novices are not permitted here, brother. Best that thou depart before the master forgers take note.
Of course, my apologies. Yes, these 2 rooms are barracks here, which you're not allowed in. Hello.
The rules do not permit novices in the barracks, as thou should well know.
Sorry, boss.
Be off.
Yes, boss. Of course, boss. Right away, boss. Yes. So, we need money. We need the hammer, the first hammer. Oh, pity. Normally there's a bit of dialogue there. I must have missed it. So, time to begin this process. You knock the hammers out and then immediately put your blackjack away. Is my advice for this, good viewer, because that's caught me out on several occasions before now. I'll be like, what? Why are they? What? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Why are they saying stop, thief? And then I realise it's because I've got my weapon out.
Even the Baron doth finally act against evil, when prodded with enough vigor.
Meanest thou the action on De Wall's thugs?
Verily. Some have told me it was his own brethren who in sin didst turn him in.
Thieves betray their own. Now, as always...
Good old hammers. That's why I work independently. As I said, good viewer, this is an incredibly simple mission. I'm the first one to admit that. But it's also just really fun. I just like the idea of infiltrating a hammer temple, hiding under these, directly under these guys' noses. It's just brilliant. So long as these guys don't see you doing anything, you're all good. Of course, you have to play hide the body a lot. Because if they spot you, you're screwed. So I like to put my own little corpse pile behind this generator here. Nice dark spot, they're not going to see it. And there are plenty of hammer books around, as one would expect. Hammerite Compendium of Precepts, Regimens, and Rules of Conduct, Volume 12. The builder give thou the raw stuff of thy life. Make thou great work of it, or thou mockest his gifts. Some bits of good advice in the hammer text, good viewer. Some. Admittedly, some of them may seem a bit Old Testament-y, for lack of a better phrase.
Thought upon who is likely to succeed our master.
Surely not for many years.
Art thou blind? He is old, and the master forgers do jostle each other for precedence.
I spy not on my betters, 'tis in the builder's hands.
'Tis true, 'tis true.
I like how they can create the conversation, and you can quite clearly tell who's talking, even though their faces just don't move, and they just pretty much stand there. Inverted red hammer symbols, good viewer. That's one of the things. If they spot you in any of those rooms, you're dead, pretty much. Ooh. Now, can we take this chap out over here? That's this is the High Priest chambers, good viewer. And he'll become relevant later on, but I think for the moment we'll leave that. You have to be especially careful of when you take loot, good viewer. Nothing to see here, boss. Especially not for you. Funny noises. Yes, because There's no middle ground with this, good viewer. You can't just like accidentally step on tile and then run away and hide in the shadows for a while. For the love of God, good viewer, do not press the button. I mean it this time. Seriously, I'm not going to press the button. Because that is the way that the alarm lies, and if the alarm goes off, you're screwed. Yeah, there's no middle ground here, good viewer. This is the talisman room. You can see there the air talisman across this chasm, which we will cross later on. Yeah, there's no middle ground with this. You're either completely undetected, or you've raised the alarm. There's no middle ground, which is a bit of a disadvantage, it must be said. Anything in these chests? No. But, yeah, for the most part, just walk around weaponless, don't piss anybody off, and you should be fine. We'll leave him sleeping for the moment. What am I actually doing? Evening, boss. Nothing to see here, boss. Easy. Child's play, this mission. Where can I put you? There you go, Jack. What am I doing? That's what I'm doing. Let's go back up here. And this place really does feel like a church. Or like a, you know, a place of work, a place of worship. You know, so a monastery almost, to an extent. With all these statues and hammer paraphernalia around. Yeah, just need to be careful that you don't knock.
Some do say the Baron means to raise the tariffs again, even on greens and meat.
The wretched man serves only the merchants and his own greed.
His grandfather cared less for his pocketed gold and more for his soul's health, but no longer.
What art thou doing? The builders
What the?
trade.
Who art thou?
What? What?
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Spy! An intruder!
Not an intruder, mate. Don't know how that happened, good viewer. I must have accidentally stepped into one of those tombs. Crap. Wasn't me, boss.
Whence came thee here? Hold!
Shit. Like I said, no middle ground, good viewer. Okay, I'm gonna have to waste another gas arrow. No, you won't. Now you know why I bring these things along. I say it's child's play, and I do fine when I'm practicing, and then Let's Play Curse strikes. Oh well. Yes, I must have stepped into one of the tombs accidentally. Which is weird, because I thought I was nowhere near them. That's very odd. Oh well. Point is, they're all gone now. Off to Betty Byers. Bastard hammers. Oh well. You gentlemen lie there in that corner, phasing into the wall, and think about what you did. You made me waste 2 gas arrows. 2, you bastards! Those things aren't cheap. Here lies Brother Wainwright. May his wheels turn forever in the hereafter. Yoink. Here lies Brother Mason, truest of scholars. Yoink. Here lies the unhappy Brother Dale, buried here as a symbol of lessons not learned. Yoink. Here lies Brother Terence. He fought the unrighteous to his last breath. Yoink. Here lies Father Thiel, a teacher without peer, yet ever a student of discipline. And yoink. Easy 600. Right. Okay, you bastards, I know there are more of you around here. And that's the thing, good viewer. Once you can get rid of all of the... Yeah, screw it, let's take him out over there. Gotcha. Right. 700. Loot is very easy to get here, good viewer, it must be said. Okay. More loot and a black key. Very important. Thank you, Mr. High Priest. And a hammer. But we'll come back for that later, my friends. Okay. The black key is very useful. Because it'll open a door that we need in a moment. And a white key, or silver key, rather. Is that not openable? Oh, do we have to pick it? Fine. What the? Oh no. Don't have to pick it at all. Simple solutions to complicated problems. Like I said, you're really quite simple. Once all the guards are gone, as they pretty much are at this point, you're laughing. Really. Yes, the silver key even is going to be relevant later on. Another unlocked chest with a bit of cheese, and another hammer book. Hammerite Compendium, Precepts, Regimens and Rules of Conduct, Volume 77. What is a tree but a tower that withers and dies? What is a pond but a cistern that stagnates and fills with muck? What is a patch of ground but a road which cracks and washes away? Like I said, some interesting and good ideas in there. That's not one of them. Call me a pagan, whatever you want. But, doesn't sound very appealing to me. More loot. Hammerite Compendium of Precepts, Regimens and Rules of Conduct, Volume 113. A stroke of thy chisel once made canst not be undone, but a stroke thou dost not make from fear is a worse flaw. Be not cautious, be correct. Typical over-theatrical performer that I am, I'm even putting my fingers into a sort of bridge shape, as if making some sort of wise philosophical statement, even though there's no way you can possibly see me. Another key. More loot. Right. Okay. Of course, I have absolutely no idea how long I've been going here, good viewer, but oh well. No, actually, what we need to do is we need to go to the library. That's what we need to do. And the library is up here somewhere. Yes. Is this the library? Yes, this is the library. Again, another forbidden place, but one place you need to access, really. Particularly if you've not done this mission before, you need to get into this room. Here. Partially for the loot, and partially for what's in this crate. A scroll. Very useful scroll with useful information. The cage containing the talisman can only be opened when the 5 locks have been released. The lock releases are placed in various locations about this temple. One resides with Brother Mason. One is behind the skull of St. Yora. One is in the kitchen by the oven. One is behind the rack which loosens men's tongues. One is behind the keystone tree. The locks must be released within the span of 5 minutes. When all of the locks are released, the talisman cage can be opened. Then, he who removes the talisman must first recite the prayer of the wall builder. Very useful information, that, good viewer. It shows you how to get the talisman. There are 5 switches, or levers, hidden around this temple, and you've got to find them all. And that's how you do. That's where you get the locations from. And you also need the prayer of the wall builder, whatever that may be. You cannot get the talisman without it. It's one of those things that isn't stated in the objective screen, but is vital for you to complete it. You can't do it without it. But on that note, good viewer, I'm going to sit here and read a while, and will bid you farewell until next time. Because this is going to be a short mission, good viewer. I'd be very surprised if I didn't finish the mission up in the next video. It doesn't take very long at all, but still, it's all fun. So, we'll stay in this secret room and do secret things until you return. That sounds way more perverted than I meant to be. I'm going to shut up now, good viewer. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Skyrider. Farewell until we meet again.